Okay everyone, today I'm craving cookies and I decided to do a chewy double chocolate chip cookie and I'm super excited about it. I know that I teased a picture of it the other day, so everybody's kind of been waiting for this one. So let's get started. I've got the oven preheated to 350. I have a cookie sheet covered with 2 silicone mats because it's a super big cookie sheet. You can use parchment paper or whatever you want for that. And then we just need to get started with our ingredients. By the way, this is Keto Poppy. Don't forget to hit subscribe and like and the little bell down under the video. If you hit that, you'll get a notification every time I do a video. So you'll have the most current recipes that I'm working on. Now, let's get started. So these cookies I made the other day and I decided they needed a few tweaks and now I feel like I've got it exactly where I want it. So the first thing that we need is 16 ounces of almond butter. Now, could you use peanut butter? I don't know. I'm using almond butter, so I don't know anything about substitutions for this. But this, I needed 16 ounces. This jar is only 12 ounces. So I got 4 ounces out of a different jar. And it's okay if the peanut butter is separated. You know how I didn't get the no stir, which is fine for this. And I don't need to stir it. I'll just add it in with the oils all separated out. And that's fine. So we'll get all that out of there. That takes a little doing. Goodness sakes. It has been cold here. Now it's getting a little bit better. Halloween was crazy cold. And I think today it's like 60 something, so it's not horrible, but geez, aloo. That end of October was really winter-like for us. All the little kids were coming around to the house, and I grew up in Michigan, so, you know, we were used to wearing snowsuits and heavy winter coats for Halloween for trick-or-treating. But these little kids had windbreakers on, and I thought, man, ooh, sorry, you all need to get some more clothes on. Okay, throw that away. Throw this away. And yes, I'm doing the shot back from the kitchen because I just feel like the light is better than having the screen behind me. So you guys let me know how that looks for you. If you like it better with the screen behind and you're not able to see our remodeling project and all of our various sundries setting out, or do you like it this way? Okay, we've got that. Now we need 2 ounces of softened cream cheese and 2 tablespoons of butter. And I've already done that. So there goes the butter. And there is the cream cheese. These are so good. Okay, now 1 1/3 cup of confectioner's sugar. I'm using Swerve. You can use the monk fruit brand if you like. I just happen to have the Swerve, so that's what I'm using. But I like both of them. So 1 1/3 cup. Try not to make a huge mess with this. It's nice to be able to wear a sweater. You know, I'm not a huge summer person. Don loves summer, but I like to be able to wear a sweater and some blue jeans. And now that I've lost a bunch of weight, I don't sweat like a pig anymore, so I can wear warmer clothes. All right, let's not go crazy there. Okay, there's a cup and a third. See, I did get it everywhere. I try. I am so messy. Good thing I'm getting down low on my confectioner stuff. Okay, and if you just have granulated, you can use that. But I'm telling you, they're going to be kind of grainy. So if you don't mind a grainy cookie, go ahead and use the granulated if that's all you've got and you've got to have a cookie. I totally get that. But if you don't want it to be grainy, you're going to want to use confectioners. Something about that softer powder really makes a difference. Okay, next we need 5 tablespoons of cocoa powder. And hopefully I said a tablespoon. I did. Here we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 more. Goodness, we'll get that one down there. 5. Okay. And this is cacao powder. I'm just using organic. It's Better Body Foods. I'm trying to think where I got this. I might have got it at Whole Foods. That sounds about right. It has a little lower carb content, higher fiber. So this has total carbohydrates 3 grams and 2 grams of fiber per tablespoon. So it just ends up being one net carb, so it's lower than regular cocoa powder, I think. Okay, we got our butter. We need 2 tablespoons of heavy cream. Again, you probably could use coconut cream if you're allergic to dairy. I don't know. Try that. If that works, let me know. I would think it would. I'm sure it maybe changes the taste a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, heavy cream, 4 eggs. I'll just dump those in. Okay, 2 to 3 tablespoons of water. I'm going to wait on that and see what the texture's like. A teaspoon of espresso powder. If you don't have it, you can leave it out. If all you have is instant coffee, like Sanka, you can use that. If I can get the lid off here. Good night. Let's see. The reason, this is an insane knife to use for this. The reason that I use espresso powder is because espresso powder brings out the taste. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. It brings out the taste of chocolate. So we're going to use a teaspoon of this. Let's see if I've got one over here. Here we go. Oh, that's going to be good. Okay, teaspoon. I've got a little cold, so you'll have to excuse me. I've been fighting it for days. Okay, half a teaspoon of salt, and I might go a little bit less on that. The first time I made it, I feel like salt brings out the taste of chocolate, but half a teaspoon might be a little aggressive. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just going to use a little bit less than half. Maybe about a quarter. And I'll put that alteration down in the description. Okay, we've got our salt. Half a teaspoon of cinnamon. If you don't like cinnamon or you're allergic to it, you can leave it out. I like cinnamon in anything that has erythritol because I find the heat of the cinnamon balances the coolness of the erythritol. Now, if you can't taste that weird, peppery, cold kind of sensation of erythritol on your tongue when you eat it, then don't even worry about this. But I can taste it and it bugs me. Okay, and then we've got our vanilla extract, 3 teaspoons of that. Oh, and we can't forget our baking soda. So 3 teaspoons, which is 1 tablespoon. All right, yeah, of vanilla. And I just happen to know that. Okay, and then how much baking powder, baking soda? Let's see. I usually have my recipe pinned up a little bit higher, but this one's lower and written smaller. 2 teaspoons of baking soda. All right, do I have a teaspoon here? There we go. 1, 2. All right, and that's it except for the chocolate chips. So let's get this blended up. Let me clear a few things out of the way so you all can see what the heck's going on. Get some of these bowls, and I'll add the water at the end. Okay. I'm going to just stir this a little bit so that the powdered sugar doesn't go flying everywhere. Yes, I know that from experience. Okay, let's get all this off here. So I hope everybody enjoyed Halloween, and now we've got Thanksgiving right around the corner. It's amazing to me how fast all that gets here. You know, and we're trying to coordinate all this stuff with family and getting all the kids in. You know how it is if you've got grown kids and they've got significant others. I'm going to mix this. Oh, this batter is so tasty. Mix in here. me scrape down my sides. Make sure to get all those dry ingredients incorporated. You know, you don't want a big glob of baking soda. What I like about these is, you know, normally I make cookies with almond flour, and I decided to try it with almond butter because there's just that graininess to it that you don't get in a regular cookie. And I wanted to see if almond butter would make it different, and it does. Let's mix this one more time. Okay, definitely going to need some water. I'm going to add about a tablespoon, maybe 2. Okay, let's try that. There we go. Get that good and incorporated. I'll end up with it all over me. Hold on. A little bit more. There you go. You'll feel that mixer kind of move through it a little bit easier. Okay, I think that's going to do it. We probably got chocolate everywhere. It's okay. Okay, let me stir down my sides here. And I'm going to taste it and see how sweet it is. Last time it tasted fine in the bowl, but then when I made them, I didn't think they were quite sweet enough. So I went back with the second batch and I added some sucradrops. So let me get a spoon here and we'll try this. That's so good. I think it needs a little bit more water still. And then let's add, it's so good, some sucradrops. We'll give it one more good, 1, 2, 3, 4. I love these, Amazon. I use them all the time. For anybody who's worried about using sucralose because you're on a ketogenic diet, powdered sucralose is different than liquid sucralose. I know I say this all the time. Powdered sucralose, or Splenda, has maltodextrin added into it, so it is not keto friendly. Now, it's not a natural sweetener, so if you're not doing any sweeteners that aren't natural, it's off the table altogether. Just add some more confectioners. But, you know, if you don't mind a few drops of something here and there, I really like it. I think it's got a natural taste. I think it balances the erythritol really nicely. Okay, so that's about the consistency we're going for. See that? I know it seems really soupy for cookies, but it actually works. Okay, let me get a different spoon. Let's taste it now. Much better. Okay, give it one real good mix here. And get my cookie scoop, and we'll start scooping this out. Let's get these off. Oh, I'm gonna have chocolate all over me. Hold on a second. Back in 2 seconds. Let me wash my hands and wash this up. I'm back. I feel like I've got it all over me. Now we're just going to scoop these out onto the cookie sheet here. And like I said, I use silicone. I really like these little silicone baking mats. They're not expensive, so I don't feel like, you know, they were like a super spendy thing. And the cookies just come right off them. This makes a ton of cookies. Like, I want to say last time, let's scoop this on here a little bit. I want to say last time it made like 40 cookies, and they're good sized. Now I'm using the smallest cookie scoop that was at the store. This is the Pioneer Woman one from Walmart. And I just feel like you get really uniform cookies. And other than that being pretty, it's really nice because they all cook evenly. So everything gets done at the same time. You don't have a super big one and a smaller one that's burned. Now, if you don't have a cookie scoop, you could drop them by rounded tablespoonful. I think would probably get it. And let them cook like that. If I didn't tell you, I've got the oven heating to 350 degrees. And I'll put these in for about 9 minutes. I'll start checking them at 8, but I've not had them be done at 8 yet. It's better to have them a little, in my opinion, a little done and on the gooey side than a little overdone and on the cakey kind of dry side. I don't care for a cakey cookie. But these kind of come out like cookie brownies. They're so good. I know the scooping takes forever and I just prattle on endlessly while I'm doing it. So drop some comments, guys. You know, what desserts are you really missing and wanting to see done? I'm of course going to do a pumpkin pie soon, and soon I'll be putting out the cornbread dressing video because we're going to need that really soon, aren't we? And if you haven't seen the cornbread or the corn muffin video, check that out because it is on my channel. And I like me some cornbread, corn muffins. Grandma used to call them Johnny cake because ours is a little sweet, but you can always leave the sweetener out of that. Okay, that is ready to go in. Let me see if I can do this without making a mess. I cannot. That's ready to go in. I'm going to put it in the oven. I'll be back in probably 8 or 9 minutes, and we'll have a taste of these. We'll need to let them cool a little bit, but we'll be back soon. You won't notice the time change because of editing. See you soon. So I got the first batch out, and I realized I forgot to put the chocolate chips in. So the other ingredient, and I guess I didn't even write that on my, I did, I wrote it on the recipe, and I just missed it. Half a cup of Lily's semi-sweet dark chocolate, or semi-sweet chocolate chips. I like the semi-sweet because they don't have any net carbs in them. If you prefer the milk chocolate, that works too. Just make sure to put it in your tracking app so that you know what that works out to. So for me, these make 40 cookies. And each cookie has 89 calories, 3 grams of protein, 3 net carbs, and 8 grams of fat. Okay, so, I mean, that is pretty good for a cookie recipe to only have 3 net carbs. That's just crazy. So we're going to try one, even though they don't have the chocolate chips in them. I've made these before, so I do know what they taste like with the chocolate chips. So let me show you. You can see how pretty those are. They're even prettier with the chocolate chips in. These are super warm. Yours are going to set up more. I think they do need about 10 minutes, though. But, you know, you break that open. I mean, look at that. That's so good. They could use maybe another minute, but really good. Not grainy. And grainy is my big complaint with cookies. I don't get that weird bite at the back of my tongue that I normally feel with erythritol-based sweeteners. The cinnamon, you can't taste it. It just balances that. It's perfect for balancing that. And I think the sucradrops balance it a little bit too, to be honest. Now, if you're new to these kind of sweeteners, it is going to taste different to you. Once you've been keto for a while and you've not had regular carbs, this is welcome. And that's not to say that it's not good. Some people can really taste the erythritol, other people can't. I'm just one of those people that gets a almost like a peppery sensation on the back of my tongue with it. So the cinnamon really helps with that. Get a sip of coffee here. But I'll put the next batch in. Those will have chocolate chips in them. And in the meanwhile, you guys can try these out. I'll put all of the ingredients below in the description and the instructions, and you guys can make these tonight. You see they come together really quick. And they're ones your kids will even love. I tried these out on some other people without the alterations in it, and they really liked them. So remember to hit like and subscribe. Cost you nothing, really helps me out. And if you hit the little bell down below the video, you'll get notifications every time I do a recipe. You guys have a great week.